We'll start with the prayers. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashye Makshabhiryajatraha Stirairangaihi Suštuvagam Sastanobihi Vashema Devahi Tam Yadayuho Swasti na Indro Vriddashravaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti Nastakshorarishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspatir Dadatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Anubhuti Prakasha, chapter 6, covering Mundak Upanishad by Swami Vidyaranya. We have finished so far 49 verses out of 100 verses. Today we are going to start with the 50th verse. What have we covered so far in these 49 verses? Basically, we are dealing with chapter 1 of the Upanishad. There are 3 chapters in the Upanishad. Right now, we are still in chapter 1, and today we will finish chapter 1 in the 50th verse. There are 2 sections in each chapter, and the first chapter we will complete with the 50th verse. And then we will start with the second chapter, which goes on till verse number 74. This is how Mundak Upanishad is covered in Anubhuti Prakasha. The topics, there are 10 topics which are covered, and we have finished 4 topics. We are in the 5th topic. What are the topics covered so far? In the first topic was introduction between the Guru and the Sishya, and the Sishya is asking, teach me one Paravidya which will enable me to know the entire universe. Then the second section was Paravidya. What is Paravidya? What is the knowledge of Brahman? The third topic is this Brahman which we are talking about, this Paravidya, the higher knowledge, is the cause of the world. So that was mentioned in the third topic. The fourth topic was, what do I get out of this knowledge? And the fifth topic is, why do I need a guru? Now there are 4 verses, 47 onwards till 51, and the importance of a guru is explained in these 4 verses. In the 47th verse, what was said is, karma is not the cause of freedom. You see, why we are studying Upanishad, we want to be free from this rebirth, and which is called as moksha. Now, why do you need a guru? Because we need jnanam. Moksha, for moksha, the means is jnanam. And what jnanam? Atma jnanam or Brahma jnanam. So that was said in the 47th verse. 48th verse said that when you deal with this subjective science, you will get a lot of doubts, because Upanishads presents this knowledge in different ways. In some Upanishads, they will talk about creation in a certain way. In another Upanishad, they will talk in another way. And then, so as a student, you will get doubts. And in order to clear the doubts, you need a guru. So the first one was that you require jnanam. The second is, to clear the doubts, you need guru. 49th verse, what is the third reason? The third reason is, ignorance is in the intellect. To remove this remove this ignorance, you need a guru. It is not an objective science, which somebody can tell you, go and see this tree. You will have full description of a mango fruit. But here, it is not something which you can show and understand. It is subjective science. And another reason mentioned in 49th verse, which we covered last week, is we all have a wrong notion in our mind, which is ahamta and mamata. Ahamta means I notion. I am this body. What is the second notion? Mamata. Mamata means I have a house. I have a family. I have money in the bank. All this is connected to the I. Now, which I is it connected to? It is connected to the ego I in this body, which will not go. But this ego I has to recognize there is another I, which is called as Sakshi I. That Sakshi I is the subject matter of the Veda, of the Upanishads. So for that, you need a guru. So 4 verses are dealing with why we need a guru. Now we are going to deal with the 50th verse, the last verse, which will tell us that we need a guru because he teaches us the knowledge of something which is permanent. This is what is knowing this is called as wisdom. Wisdom means you use that knowledge and apply it to yourself and become free. So now let us go to the 50th verse. These 4 verses are very important because many a times students, they come to the class and then they say, I don't know what should I do? How should I study? I'm lost. There are many seekers who do not understand the importance of a guru. They think that by listening to one talk on the YouTube, they will know themselves. They will know the reality. It is not true. It is a systematic study for a length of time under a guru, so that you give sufficient time for your intellect to pick up the knowledge of the Veda. After getting this knowledge, you have to go to the second step, which is contemplation on the knowledge. And then there is a third step, which is removal of wrong, erroneous notions. And all these 3 steps are beautifully explained by a guru. Step by step, there is a teaching. Okay, so with that, we'll go to the 50th verse and see where we stopped last week. This 50th verse is the last verse, which I told you regarding the guru. Now, Advaitam is a tradition. It has been coming from guru to a sishya, from a sishya to he becomes a guru. It is a parampara. It is an unbroken line of succession. For example, you're all learning. You understand your nature. After some time, you will feel, I would like to teach somebody. You will have 3 or 4 people with whom you can teach. They also pick up the same knowledge. They feel that they should transfer this knowledge. So what Vidyaranya is saying is, it is a parampara, and the knowledge which is given is of immutable Aksharam Brahma. Very important word. Aksharam is the name of the immortal, everlasting Brahman, which is the cause of this universe. The primary role of a teacher is teaching, but the student should be receptive. You cannot sow a seed in a dry land. You need a fertile land. In the case of Jnanam, fertile land refers to the mind of a Sishya. A Sishya who has gone through Karma Yoga, Upasana Yoga, attained Sadhana Chatushtaya, he becomes a Jignasu. Jignasu means a person who's keen to have Brahma Vidya. You must be very clear what you are studying. You must know that there is something which my eyes cannot see, ears cannot hear, but it exists. It is the cause of this universe. We will expand on this in the next verse. When we talk about creation from verse number 51 onwards, we will be talking about creation. It's a very beautiful section which we will begin today, and it goes on from 51 topic till 57. About 7-8 verses are there, and so we will study that. Once you study that, you'll be much more clearer. So there are I explained to you about Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasnam, the 3 steps which are to be followed for Brahma Vidya. And our intellect is shadowed. Why? Because of childhood issues, emotional issues. Some people may have got hurt, so they are thinking about the hurt all the time. How can I suffer like this? How can I suffer like this? Why did this happen to me? Why did this happen to me? So we are also absorbed in this. Our mind is not able to come out of this issues. Therefore, you need a guru who has the capacity to change the Shishya's mind. He makes the Shishya a fit disciple. Upanishad gives the knowledge of the highest reality. So in the second chapter, in the second section of the first chapter, it says, this is the Mundaka Upanishad. This verse of 50th verse refers to this verse of the Mundaka Upanishad, and where it says that the teacher teaches Brahma Vidya. What is this Brahma Vidya? It deals with the immortal Purusha. Immortal Purusha means what? Always exists. It existed in the past, it exists now, it will exist in the future. What is the nature of that immortal Purusha? The nature is Sat Chit Ananda. If I come to know my real nature is the nature of that Purusha, there is no more rebirth. That is what Upanishads are telling me. And what is the source for rebirth? Yes, it will be there, or rebirth will not be there. It is apaurushaya vishaya. It is not known by human intellect. These are wisdom which is given by scriptures. And scriptures are the only source. And the scriptures telling me there is something which is immortal. That immortal is called, instead of calling it X, you call it Brahman. And that is what is explained in the 6th mantra of this Upanishad, first chapter, 6th mantra. We will see all the revision in the next few sections. So, the scholarship is not important. What is important is wisdom. The knowledge has to be applied to yourself. So this is given, the knowledge is given by way of a samvada. Samvada means dialogue. where the student is permitted to ask questions after some time. You don't try to ask questions immediately after joining the first class, because you need to get ready and understand the background, the context, and then then this teacher will allow you to ask questions. Which is the most important mantra in this Upanishad? This 116. The description of Brahman. Even if you don't understand what is Brahman and all that, remember to note this mantra. Somewhere in your, if you're serious about studying scriptures for 2 years, 3 years, then this is the methodology. Every sincere student, while studying the Upanishads, formulates his own source book for revision. And this source book will probably contain about 50 verses. 10 Upanishads, 50 verses. This should be your asset. Again and again throughout your life, you should be able to revise these 50 mantras. This is one of those 50 mantras. Every Upanishad, I give you those selective mantras. Aksharam Brahma, immortal Brahma, indivisible Brahman, ungraspable Brahman, unoriginated Brahman, attributeless Brahman. See, these are all terms given to us because in this world, we don't find anything which is not originated, but this is unoriginated. It is always there. That is consciousness. Apply it to yourself. Am I conscious or not today? Yes. Was I conscious yesterday? Yes. Was I conscious 5 years ago? Yes. So what has not changed in you? Consciousness. What has changed? Body has changed. Has your thoughts been different? Last week you were thinking that you were very, very, very unhappy. This week you're thinking you're extremely happy. What has changed? Mind has changed. That's all. But you, the consciousness, which is the experiencer, has not changed. So this verse is talking about the experiencer, consciousness. It is not the ego. Ego is, I am a karta, I am a bhokta, I am a doer, I am an enjoyer. But here we are talking about sakshi, the light in which the body is seen and the body is unseen. In this one mantra, I can take 20 sessions, but it's so important. That is why I said that this should become one of your 50 mantras. What is the use of these 50 mantras, if you ask me? See, human mind forgets. Again and again, you have to remind the mind. Because by habit, we think that we are the human body, and whatever thoughts which come into our mind, which we experience the world, we think it is us. We think that that is what is me. Upanishads keep on reminding you, you will have experiences in life, but it is not your real nature. You will still undergo life. You will have sukham and dukkham. There is nobody in the world. Till death, you will enjoy sukham and dukkham every single day. But in spite of that sukham and dukkham, you have the knowledge that I am not that mind which is undergoing sukham dukkham in this body. That is the benefit of the study of Upanishads. And it is these mantras which will make you wake up to your real knowledge, your near real Swarupa. So the guru is someone who gives you the inspiration, the motivation to dwell on these topics. See, we can dwell on the world. It will give us some joy. But dwelling on our real nature gives us much more joy. And it is permanent joy. Viparita bhavana nivrittihi is done in nididhyasana. Nididhyasana is a deliberate process of meditation, where you sit down and say, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am Satchit Ananda Swarupaha. Repeating it again in your intellect daily is nididhyasana. There is a beautiful section. What is nididhyasana? If you want to know, there is a very intensive study in Sapta Bhumika of Swami Vidyaranya in Jivan Mukti Viveka. That text you will find Sapta Bhumika as a topic. There, nididhyasana is explained in a very, very big detail. After study of the Upanishad, a jnani, he enjoys the nididhyasana because he wants to be one with that while living here. So details are given there, but basically you should understand that I have to get rid of the small s. The self, there is a small s and a capital S in the self. The small s is the ego. The big S is the Sakshi. Sakshi means it is not affected by the ego. Ego travels through the journey of life. Sakshi is a witness to the traveler Jiva, ego. Then the Sakshi, then the Jiva, the traveler, he realizes, why should I travel on this ego trip from morning to evening, from life to life? I can learn that I am not the ego. So that is how you come to Brahma Vidya. I have said Jiva Bhava to Brahma Bhava is the transformation of a Jiva. I am not Jiva, I am Brahma. Brahma Bhava should become intrinsic in your nature. Sampradaya Pravartaye. Guru is required to perpetuate the lineage tradition of Guru Parampara, through which Upadesha is given, teaching is given about Brahma Vidya. So, in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there are 6 chapters, three different groups, like Mundaka Upanishad. So in every chapter, at the end of every chapter, if you want to know the names of all the gurus, in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, in the 2nd chapter, you will find the names given. So 261 of Brihadaranyaka gives 1 such names of gurus. If you want to know, I think there are more than 50 or 60 names. If you collect all those teachers who have spread this Brahma Vidya in the tradition. The names are given here: Kaushika, Kannidriya, Kaundenya, Sandilya, Kaushika, Gautama to so and so many of them. Teaching has its pitfalls and advantages. What are the pitfalls? See, when you teach, you feel that you are got 20 students, 30 students, 50 students. It will boost up your ego. This is called as vidya garvaha, and it can destroy a person. But it also has advantages. What are the advantages? The biggest advantage is teaching is a form of nididhyasnam for a teacher. The teacher can dwell on his swarupam while teaching. These are the two, this is the advantage, this is the disadvantage. For noble people, Bhartruhari says that jnanam destroys jealousy, ahamkara, adambitvam. It is this knowledge, through this knowledge, you can destroy ahamkara, or it can cause pride and destruction of the self also. It is an ego fattening. That is what I said is a pitfall. I'm doing great service. These are all pitfalls. So teaching has its own advantages and disadvantages. Swami Chinmayananda says that, in one of his convocation addresses, I heard that he has said that don't fall for admiration which is given by the sadhakas, or by giving you Purna Kumbhakam, Purna Kumbham, and when you go for teaching, you get all this. So a teacher might feel that he is great, but he says, what a teacher should think is that he is representing, it is the Adi Guru Bhagavan who is teaching through me, it is not me. These are some of the aspects of teaching. Shatpati Stotram is a very beautiful stotram here. It says, please remove my ignorance, make me humble. Let me subdue my mind, and let this bring peace and tranquility to me. O Lord Vishnu, this is the prayer of a seeker. What does the seeker pray? Give me peace of mind. Let me not grow my ego. Let me become humble. And what is the second prayer? Remove the agitations caused by the sense organs. So in my mind, there are agitations. Why does the mind get agitated? Because it is due to the attachment of sense organs with the objects outside. Whenever you find your mind is agitated, you must realize this. This is one of the best teachings of Vedanta. To know that I am not the mind, each one of us has to follow this, understand this, what is happening in my body and mind complex. So the sense organs are attracted to the sense objects, and it causes agitation in the mind, and then I do karma. For example, I want to have a laddu or a rasgulla, then I will drive 20 kilometers to get that rasgulla or that dish. It is the sense organs, the organ of the tongue wants to feel the taste of rasgulla. Similarly, other things. I want house, I want to buy TV, I want to buy this car, I want to buy that thing. So all this is deception. Like what? Like a mirage is seen in a desert. Similarly, we are all running for happiness, and it is illusory. I run after something, it gives me some happiness, but that I'm not happy. So what is the job? What is the prayer of the seeker? O Lord Vishnu, number one, remove my arrogance. I have this pride in me. I am great. Let me become humble. Second prayer, remove the agitations in my mind. They are really a cause of big problems for me. Number 3, I am deluded. Remove the delusion from it. Very beautiful Shatpati Stotra. So with this, teaching is also wonderful. It's a sadhana and it is a rishi rinam. You see, we all have different debts. When we are born with the debts to the rishis, to the devatas, to the pitrus. We are born with debts. And while these are the different types of yajnas we do, Panchamaha yajna, these are the 3 out of the 5. These are the 3 yajnas. We have studied this in chapter 4 of the Bhagavad Gita. So we are indebted to rishis. By teaching, we discharge our debts. So this 13th mantra is the last mantra of the first chapter, second section. Okay, so what it says that to a right disciple, the teacher will teach Brahma Vidya. And what do I get from this Brahma Vidya? I got to know the immortal Purusha. What is the description of the immortal Purusha, which we have learned? 116. Just now we saw that description. Okay, so this is the one. This is the immortal Purusha described in Mundaka Upanishad. With this, we finish the 50th verse. Now we go to the next section from 51 to 57. So 7 verses are there. And we are now going to see the section dealing about creation of the world. Creation is an important topic for all seekers. As a seeker, I must know what the world is. So these 7 mantras, try to grasp as much as you can. These are very good notes which I have sent to you. If you read through the notes itself, you will understand. But once you understand creation like in this format, see, creation comes in every Upanishad. So it will help you to go deeper and deeper into what I'm experiencing in the world. Immutable Brahman is associated with the power of Maya. See, this is how we should understand what is the starting point of creation. It is not what I'm seeing outside now. What I'm seeing outside now is an effect. Karyam. I should understand the Karanam. Karanam exists before Karyam. Karanam alone appears as the Karyam. These are all the fundamentals of Vedanta. What I'm experiencing is Karya. What is there is Karana. If I know the Karanam, I will know the entire Karya. By knowing clay, the source of all the pots, by knowing one clay, I will know thousands of pots, big pot, small pot, everything I will know. So similarly, by knowing Brahman, I will know the entire creation. Brahman has got a power. What is this power? Do you have power to walk? Do you have power to taste? Do you have power to run, to grasp, to understand? Isn't that we all have powers? Yes. Similarly, the Creator also has a power. That power is called as Maya. That means there is Brahman and there is his power. From a combination of these two, the whole universe comes. This mantra is an explanation of the second chapter, first section, first mantra. I will show you that mantra later, and it'll come later. But basically, I've explained to you that mantra before while teaching the summary of Mundaka Upanishad about the sparks and the fire. So this is a commentary on that mantra. So this first section, there are two sections in chapter 2, totally 24 mantras. And first section has got 10 mantras, the second section has got 14 mantras. So the Jagat Karanam is called as Aksharam. See, we studied the 116 and it said that it is Aksharam. To Shaunaka also, Angiras, the teacher, said, no Aksharam, then you will know the entire Jagat. How does Srishti come? From this Aksharam, which is the Karanam, with the help of Maya Shakti, the whole world comes. Aksharam and Maya. Maya is like the universal mother. Aksharam is the father of the universe. Universe consists of, is it coming from only one? No. At any time you should know, whenever I am experiencing this universe, it is a combination of a sentient principle and insentient matter. Sentient principle is Paramarthika Tattva. It is a higher nature and it is always there. I'm going a little slow now because I want you to pick up very essential points in this creation, because we are talking from Karanam, from the Karana Avastha of the whole creation. And how this creation comes about, it's a fairly long description running into several pages, but slowly when you go through this, you will understand the essence behind this whole section. So Maya, basically there are two parts. Yeah, Maya is called as Vyavaharika Satya. Brahman is called as Paramarthika Satya. Two words, technical words. Vyavaharika Satya means transactional reality, which is what we experience in our waking state. What is Paramarthika Satyam? That is what I don't see, but it exists. It is what? It is the essence of creation, which is called as Satyam Jnanam Ananta, which is basically consciousness principle. Now, Maya Shakti, that means this matter principle, has got two disadvantages or two natures, two types of nature. What is the first nature? It covers the original Brahman. Maya Shakti covers the nature of existence consciousness principle. That is called as Avarna Shakti. Okay. So that Avarna Shakti is something which is affecting all of us. Whether you are a jnani, ajnani, all of us, it's affecting. What is the second Shakti? The second Shakti of Maya is called as Vikshepa Shakti. Projection. Always my mind is projecting. All the thoughts are coming, going. That is what is Maya. So don't get surprised if you're not able to focus. That is because of the nature of the mind. So while studying this, you will understand your own nature also. I don't know my nature in the sleep state, that I am Brahman, is because of Avarna Shakti. In the waking state, I am taking myself as this body, is because of Vikshepa Shakti. So these two Shaktis, once they are ready, creation starts. Avarna Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti. As soon as we get up, what happens to us? Avarna Shakti is 100% complete. I don't know myself. Vikshepa Shakti, because of non-apprehension of the reality, which is called as Avarna Shakti, I have misapprehension that I am the body. These are all technical explanations of what is happening in my mind. Okay, so try to understand your mind with the help of these definitions. What is the definition of Maya? Avyakrita Nama Rupatmika Maya. Avyakrita means what? Unmanifest. Name and form. That is what is called as Maya. In the sleep state, the whole universe, which I am experiencing now, it becomes unmanifest. In the sleep state, in the waking state, it is manifest. That which becomes unmanifest is called as Maya. Universe in potential form. Entire universe, the whole cosmos. When you understand creation in this way, you will understand creation is nothing but manifestation, unmanifestation in Maya. And that Maya's power is you are able to appreciate because of the knowledge from the Veda. Maya has infinite universes which will come in the future. So Maya, when you sleep, for example, don't think it is only you are sleeping in your individually mind, you are gone to sleep. But this individual mind, Karana Shariram, when it goes to Karana Shariram, that Karana Shariram is a part of the whole Karana Shariram of the cosmos. See, you're trying to understand creation. You have to understand creation at the individual level, understand creation at the total level, Samashti level, Vyashti level. One part of that Maya Shakti is the current universe. Small little part, infinitesimal part is this current universe. Like that, there is whole lot of infinite universes which is there in the Maya Shakti of Brahman. And what is the definition of universe? Very beautifully described in Vedanta Upanishad. Universe is Nama, Rupa, Karma. Where in Vedanta Upanishad? Chapter 1, 6th section, 1st verse. Pramanam for what is the definition of Jagat. Nama, Rupam, Karma. Trayam va idam nama rupam karma. That is Jagat. Very beautiful. Just 3 words are used to describe the whole universe. Name, form, action. Anything which you are using, name, form, and action, that is what is called as Jagat. Keep this as one of the points. If you are a serious seeker, this definition will help you in the long term, so that you don't confuse between who you are and what is the Jagat. These are all explanations. See, whenever we study the Veda, we should remember this is the source mantra for this. This is the source mantra for this. Mundaka Upanishad 116 is the source mantra for Brahman. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad 161 is the source mantra for Jagat. Similarly, what is a Jiva? What are the four things which we do? Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, Brahman. These are the four terms we understand about when we try to understand the universe. We try to understand who is the Jiva, who is the what is the Jagat, and who is the creator Ishvara. And what is the substratum of all these three, which is called as Brahman? That is what, if you understand these four terms, you have understood the whole Vedanta. Vedanta consists of understanding four terms: Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, and Brahman. The moment, the day you say, yes, I've understood these four terms, you can say, I'm liberated. So universe and potential form means it is unmanifest form. Avyakrita namaropa iti Jagat. And upadana karanam, the material cause for this Jagat, is of two types. One is called as Brahman, which is Maya, and the second is called as the father of the universe. The universe is always a mixture of both the sentient principle, which is the Satyam Jnanam Anantam, and the second is the matter principle. Father and mother together form a child. Similarly, Brahman, which consists of the sentient and the insentient together, it forms the world. Now, how is that Brahman seen in the universe? Exactly like you see a reflection. This is a methodology adopted by the scriptures to tell us how to reach that Brahman. So when you are seeing the universe, you are seeing the reflection of that Brahman. When you see your reflection in the mirror, what you have to infer: I am the original face. What I am seeing is a reflection. That is when you are seeing the reflection of your face. Similarly, when you are seeing the universe, you should say, I am seeing the universe, which is a reflection, but actually what? I am indirectly knowing the cause of the universe, which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. And by mere presence, that Brahman, the sentient Brahman, consciousness principle, by mere presence, it becomes the cause of the universe. So Dakshinamurti Stotram also talks of the same message. Yasyaiva sfuranam sadatmakam asat kalpartakam bhasate sakshat tattvamasi te veda vachasa yobhotayat yashritan. So this verse tells you tattvamasi. Tattvamasi means what? That is you. When the teacher says that is you, you should say Aham Brahma Asmi. That means what? That refers to the consciousness principle, which your eyes can't see. But you are seeing your body. That body is a manifestation of that consciousness. Upadana Karanam and Nimitta Karanam. Okay, there are two words. Once you have come to the cause, you should ask the question, is it a changing cause or a changeless cause? Changing cause means what? Changing cause means it is parinami upadana karana. The name and forms are parinami upadana karanam. Name and form. What is the changeless cause, which is called as vivarta upadana karanam? What is the changeless cause? The changeless cause is the existence principle. Is the universe existing or not? Yes, it is existing. That existence principle is the changeless cause. So whenever you experience the universe, aren't you seeing, you should be able to know there are two causes. One is the changeless cause, and there is another changing cause. Changing cause is called as nama rupam, which is maya. Changeless cause is called as vivarta upadana karanam, which is that consciousness, never changing. See, it's a very, very step-by-step explanation of the Jagat. If you follow this methodology, you will understand the nature of Jagat. Veda is very, very clear when it presents the universe, but you should follow the steps. Suppose you remove the name and form, Jagat will not be there. Suppose you remove the existence from the world, Jagat will not be there. So it is the combination of this changeless and the changing cause, which is called as Jagat. Okay? So, by now you will understand that world is two things, matter and spirit. Together form the universe. The spiritual part is the changeless part. Matter part is the changing part. The body is changing. So don't focus your attention on the body. Focus the attention on what is the changeless principle in you, which is the consciousness, which is the existence, which is immortal. Knowing this immortal, I will know all creations at all times, which is what was Shaunaka asking. Teach me something by which I can know at everything in the universe, because that is the changeless. Aksharam Brahma is this changeless vivarta upadana karanam. So, initially, we understand Parvati, Parameshwara, Devi, all that we understand as the Jagat Karana. But later on, we must understand this aspect of changeless and changing Karana. There is a changeless nature. Changeless nature is what? Simple, very simple to understand, is consciousness. I am conscious, I am conscious, I am conscious, doesn't change. Throughout morning to evening, it doesn't change. What is changing? Thoughts are changing. In the morning, I want to do something, thoughts. Afternoon, I want to do something else, thoughts. Evening, I want to do something else, thoughts. I want to eat, I want to run, I want to buy, I want to shop, I want to cook, I want to... all these are karma, actions. Okay. Dakshinamurti, again, Dakshinamurti, the whole 10 mantras of Dakshinamurti is all PhD in Vedanta. In this verse, of the second verse of Dakshinamurti says, Bijasya vanti guru jagadidam prang nirvikalpam punha maya kalpita deshakal kalana by chitra chitri karam. Here you should underline the word Maya Kalpitam. Again, the power of the Brahman is explained in this second mantra. If you understand creation in this format, in which I am explaining to you in these mantras, 5-6 mantras. Understand, I'm going slow. I want you to pick up this format of creation so that you can apply this, remember this, so that this becomes the basis at any time in any Upanishad you try to understand creation, you will be able to understand. So the first canvas, the coordinates are required. For that, the canvas is provided by space and time. Without space and without time, there is no world. That is the canvas. Now, what is the example which is used here? Vishwapullingaha. Vishwapullingaha agnitaha yatha. Like you have fire and spark. Sparks are many. Fire is one. Fire is the upadana karanam. Similarly, Ishvara is one. Brahman is one. It is a vivarta upadana karanam. Changeless. Always there. Nityaha. Sparks can be many. Jivas can be many with different minds and bodies. Agni has got two properties, heat and light. Jivas, when they arise, it is like the sparks arising from Agni. When a jiva gets born, that consciousness which is externally there always, that consciousness becomes enclosed in the body and mind. Enclosed consciousness is called as jiva. Unenclosed consciousness is called as Paramatma or Brahman. Very important definition of Jivatma and Paramatma. Enclosed consciousness, unenclosed consciousness. Jagat reflects only the Satyam portion of Brahman, existence portion. Jiva reflects consciousness portion of Brahman as Sakshi Chaitanyam, which is the witness of all the thoughts. In the world, when I want to know where is Brahman, how do I see Brahman? It is through the existence principle. When I want to know, that is the world, Jagat. When I want to know that Brahman in me, that Sakshi principle, which is always there, consciousness in which the thoughts are coming and going, the mind is coming and going, that substratum in which this whole mind comes and goes is called as Brahman, or it is called as Atma. Sentient and insentient both are born out of this one principle called as Brahman. So, in short, what are we saying? Brahman is the Karanam, Jagat is the Karya. Okay, that is the 51st verse. 52nd verse, I told you up to 57, we are going to do this creation. The immutable self is self-luminous. In each of these mantras, Vidyaranya is taking one aspect. In the previous verse, he talked about the Karanam, Vivarta Karanam, and changing cause and the changeless cause. Upadana Karanam. And so here in this verse, what he is saying is that Brahman is self-luminous and it transcends Maya. That which transcends Maya is called as Aksharam. Maya is an unimaginable power in Brahman. And what is the world? It is an illusory projection. So much of meaning is there in this one small cryptic verse. What is the first thing? That immutable self, is it inert? No. It is consciousness. Does it need a light to illumine? No. Like you need a light, a bulb in the room to illumine all the objects. Do you need that a light for illumining that consciousness? No. It is self-luminous. In sleep, do I know that Brahman? If I know the Veda correctly, I will know Brahman in sleep. It is in which there is nothing except itself. In sleep, apply this rule. I am there without anything. That I, which is there in sleep without anything, is this immutable self. That is what is the revelation of the Upanishads. Understand it, claim that as your nature, and you're free. That is the methodology of teaching. This immutable self is above Maya. It transcends Maya. It is not Maya. Maya is the world. The world is manifest, unmanifest. Mundaka Upanishad, in the second chapter, the first section, in the second verse, gives us this brilliant verse of self-luminous Brahman. Divyaya murtaha purushaha sabbahyantara aprano manaha shubhram. So this description, what is the description of this Brahman? The second description in the Mundaka Upanishad, 116, 212. Remember this, 116, 212. Very important mantras. Two mantras, you just keep it in mind. What does this mantra say? Self-resplendent, formless Brahman. Unoriginated, same thing. Before also we saw unoriginated. There is no origin for this. It is always there. Pure. It is all pervading being. It is a being. It is not non-being. It is not non-existence. It is the cosmic being. That is why it is called as Purushaha. It is not a male or a female. It is one genderless Purushaha. That is the nature of cosmic being. That is our real nature. I am a male, I am a female is only a transient, incidental nature. Don't get caught up. It is both within and without. Within, without is with reference to the body or the mind. It is beyond life and the mind. Anterior to both life and mind means anterior to this body and mind. He transcends even the transcendented, unmanifested causal state of the universe. Karana Prapancha. I'm trying to explain the second verse because this is the description of Brahman. See, there are three levels. Sthula Shariram, Sthula Prapancha. Sukshma Shariram, Sukshma Prapancha. Karana Shariram, Karana Prapancha. Here he is talking about Karana Prapancha. That Brahman transcends the Karana Prapancha. That means it is not, it is beyond the three Sharirams. That is the description of Brahman. See how deep we have to go within ourselves. Mundaka Upanishad 116, which is given below here, also is talking about how to go beyond our Pancha Koshas. 3 Sharirams, 3 Avasthas. The first definition, Chaitanya Rupam, was not mentioned. That means in verse number 116, the Chaitanya Rupam, self-luminous nature, was not mentioned. In the second definition, 122 here, 212, self-luminous nature is mentioned. These together, you should remember. And it is the Bhuta Yoni of the entire Jagat, the whole universe. It is the Yoni. Bhuta Yoni means what? It is the womb of whole creation. It is the material cause of the universe. Material cause of the pot is clay. Material cause of the ring, chain, bangle is gold. Material cause of the whole universe, which I experience in the waking state, dream state, and the sleep state, material cause is this Brahman. And that Brahman description is what? These 2 mantras. See how deep is this Upanishad. In all schools of philosophy, material cause of universe is inert. Only in Vedanta, we say material cause is inert. The cause of the universe is inert plus sentiency. It is together. In Sankhya, Prakriti is the material cause. Prakriti and Purusha. If you study the Sankhya Sutras, you will understand they only talk about 2 aspects. Prakriti, matter, Purusha, spirit. And the cause of the universe is Prakriti according to them, not Purusha. What does Nyaya Vaiseshika say? They are logical schools, yeah. Nyaya and Vaiseshika, they are Tarkikas. They also say that material cause is atoms. Atoms means again you have come to matter. So both Sankhya and Nyaya, Vaiseshika, they talk about creation coming from matter principle. Buddhism also says material cause is Chaturbhutani Jadam. It is the same Panchabhutas. And what does Vedanta say? Material cause of universe is not material, it is Chaitanya. Vedanta gives a lot of benefit to not the Maya principle. It says the primary cause is Satchit Ananda. And it is this which lends existence to the entire Jagat. See, when I am saying that I am in my sleep state, I am Brahman, you should remember that I in the sleep state, which is the real nature of mine, that is lending existence to the whole Jagat in my waking state. That is that I, pure I, which lends existence to the dream world also. It is that pure I which lends existence to the sleep state also. These 3 states are existing because of that pure state of Brahman. See, in this one talk itself, you can realize the whole Vedanta. If you really follow Jagat and the creation as per the Vedantic method, you will reach your true self in one talk. So, Brahman is the Nirvikara Chidrupa, Upadana Kara. Nirvikara is the most important word. without modification, that pure consciousness existence is the material cause for the universe. This consciousness was not mentioned in the first definition, but in the second definition, Divyoya Murtaha. Divyoya Murta is the self-resplendent nature of that Brahman. So that is the essence of the second mantra. I have already explained Sankhya focuses only on the matter principle. They don't use Chaitanyam at all. For them, primary is matter. Supportive cause to prove Satchidananda as the cause of universe is Mundak Upanishad. So this particular mantra 212, it clearly tells me that Divyaha, Divya means what? Deepyati Prakasheti iti Divyaha. That which is shining, self-revealing, illuminous is Divyaha. Divya means Aksharam Brahma. Aksharam is the name of Brahman. And that Brahman is self-revealing. So don't ask in the sleep state, how do I know myself? Because it is self-revealing. That's all. You are that. That's it. Tattvamasi. It reveals itself. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam. That mantra reveals what? It is revealing that you cannot be shown by any luminaries in creation. So Vedanta has a very unique concept, Chetana Upadana Karanam Vada. We are called as Chetana Upadana Karanam Vada, means our primary, in our principle, the primary cause of creation is consciousness existence. It is coming to us from the Veda. If I take this consciousness existence is the cause of the entire waking state, I will be able to reach this Brahman in 1 second, because I know I am that. In me, there is nothing but I am always there as this existence principle. Swayam Prakasha Rupaha Aksharat Parata Paraha. Akshara is used for Maya also. Akshara is used for Brahman also. Dvami Mau Purushau Loke Ksharascha Ksharai Evacha Sharas Sarvani Bhutani Kutostho Kshara Uchate. In this 15th chapter, 16th mantra of Bhagavad Gita, the same principle is explained. Brahman is called as Kutasthaha. And again it is called as Aksharaha. See, in this word you can see Kutastha in the last 4th pada. That Purusha, Sarvani Bhutani, it is the cause of the entire Prapancha. This is one of the most beautiful mantra in Bhagavad Gita which reveals my nature. This is one, and then the next mantra, the 17th mantra, Uttama Purusha Svanyaha Paramatme Tu Dahritaha. That mantra, both these mantras are extremely important. So Lord Krishna borrows ideas from Mundaka Upanishad. This second chapter mantra is the source book for that 15th chapter. Bhagavad Gita also says, those who worship the imperishable, the indefinable, the unmanifest, unthinkable, unchangeable, immobile, eternal. All these are all descriptions of Brahman. 12th chapter, Bhakti Yoga chapter. Etvaksharamanirdesham avyaktam paryupasate sarvatragamacintyam cha kutosthamachalam dhruvam. Again, kutastham is coming. Kutastham means Brahman. See how Bhagavad Gita, how you are able to connect the Bhagavad Gita teaching with the Mundak Upanishad, you should be able to do it because same ideas are there. And what does the jiva take when he leaves the body? Shariram yadamapnoti yachapyuktamati ishvaraha grihit vaitani sanyati vayurgandhani vashayat. When the jiva leaves this body, he takes with him the mind and the sense organs, indriyas. These are subtle body. How? Like from a flower, the scents are taken by the wind and it comes to you. Similarly, such a simple process by which this Maya works. See, very, very beautiful verses in Bhagavad Gita. If you know how to analyze them, it gives you a lot of joy. Aksharam means Maya. In this particular mantra, previous mantra also, Aksharam means Maya principle. Aksharam can refer to Brahman, it can refer to Maya. Now you know the difference between Brahman and Maya. Brahman is the changeless cause. Maya is the changing cause. Changing cause is the Panchabhutas. 5 elements in different forms are all the living creatures. You, me, everybody. Each body is what? Only Panchabhutas. It is only matter principle. It is changing. It will undergo change. It will again bring another body. Okay. So, Mithya is as good as not there. Understanding Maya as Mithya is figuratively called as end of Maya. You see, Maya, Avidya, Maya, Prakriti, these are all names which are used for something which is not non-existence and it is not existent. It is seemingly existent. Okay, this is the definition of Mithya. What is Mithya definition? Again, I am repeating. Mithya is seemingly existent principle. It is not existent, it is not non-existence. You see, you should remember both. Existence principle in the world is what? Only Brahman. Non-existent principles are many, like sky flowers. You don't see flowers in the sky. These are non-existent. Rabbit horn. These are all the examples given in the Shastra. But what is the world I'm experiencing? Like the dream. Is dream existent? Is the dream non-existent? If it is existent, it should be existent now also in my waking. It is not there. Is it non-existent? No. I experienced it. When it was there, I experienced it. That is what is called as Mithya. What is the waking world? Same like dream. While you are experiencing it, it is there. It is real. Tomorrow, if you ask me, where is yesterday's experience, I will say it is Mithya. 5 years ago, all the experience Mithya. Right now, I am experiencing it is Satyam for me in this present moment. Okay. So this is how we understand Mithya and Satyam. Very, very important concepts in Vedanta. What is Satyam? Always existed. Am I there always? Yes, I'm always there. As what? As consciousness. I am conscious. So if I want to really meditate on myself, what should I do? Just sit down and say, Aham Brahmasmi. I am that pure Brahman. The Guru has already taught you, you are that principle in your sleep state. Try to remember that. I am all alone. That is what is my real nature. What is this nature? I am in the waking state with my eyes open. I see the world, but this is a temporary incidental nature. So, Aksharat, Aksharam, there are two types of Aksharam, 1 and 2. Aksharam number 1 is Brahman. Aksharam number 2 is Maya principle. Superior to Maya, Aksharam number 2 is Aksharam number 1. That is what we should know. Is Maya and Aksharam 2? No, it is not Dvaitam. It is Advaitam. If you say Purusha also exists and Prakriti also exists, then you are Sankhya. That is what is called as Dvaitam. In Vedanta, we say Purusha is the primary, independently existing Brahman, number 1. What is the world? World is dependently existent on Brahman. So, absolute reality is Advaitam, non-dual principle. Okay. Okay, so that is the 52nd verse. This is just a revision portion. Here I have given one extra verse of Brahmaiva Mundaka Upanishad. There is one more verse, which is a Mahavakya portion. I will come to that later on. Is the 11th verse of the 2nd chapter. It talks about the immutable Brahman, which is in front, which is at the back, which is at the right, which is at the left. It is all pervading and it is immortal. And the world is nothing but this Brahman. That is what is this particular mantra, Brahmaiva Vedam Amrutam Purastad Brahma Paschat Brahma Dakshinataha Adas Urdhvam Cha. So that is the mantra which talks about that what you're seeing in front is nothing but Brahman. In Chandogya Upanishad also, there is a mantra which says, like you see in a single lump of earth, all the parts, similarly, in this Brahman, you see the entire Jagat. Okay, these are all common mantras which are giving similar meanings. These are all just a repetition of what I have said so far. Waking is more real compared to dream. Waking is Vyavaharika Satyam, transactional reality. What is dream? It is another reality which is called as Pratibhasikam. And what is Brahman? Brahman is Paramarthikam. These three words, yeah, you should know what are they mean. There are three types of realities. One reality is Vyavaharika, transactional, which is the waking state. The dream state is not a Vyavaharikam. You can't do transactions there. It is a Pratibhasikam. It is just a projection. You don't have any control over it. It is only a memory. Through your impressions, you are only seeing the world, what you have experienced in the waking state. Purusha and Prakriti, according to Sankhya, both are real. Both are Swatantram. Swatantram means they are independently existing. This is the difference between Sankhya and Vedanta. What does Vedanta says? Purusha is swatantram, Prakriti is aswatantra. It is dependent on Purusha. That is why we say Aham Brahmasmi. I am the pure Brahman. In me, the whole world is coming and going. Therefore, that Brahman is non-dual, Advaitam. Only through Advaitam you can have moksha. That is one of the very strong points of Advaitam. Shankaracharya, throughout his commentary on the Upanishad, keeps on mentioning this. If you don't accept Advaitam Brahma, you cannot get mukti. You will always be in samsara. Do you want mukti? Do you want freedom from samsara? Do you want freedom from rebirth? The first rule is understand it, Brahman in its right way as explained in the Shruti. Understand that Maya is dependent, Brahman is independent principle. See, in this talk I have given, there is a lot of depth in them. I don't know how much of depth you are able to pick up, but no problem. Just go through these so that you, as we study these concepts again and again in other Upanishads, you will realize the depth and understand Aham Brahma Asmi. Till you are able to convince yourself that I am that pure Brahman, pure Nirguna Tattvam, just keep on studying. Listen to the scriptures again and again. Okay. There are a few other things which I mentioned, but I'm not going through each one of them because I want to give you the gist of Anubhuti Prakasha. These verses are, what I have put in my notes are fairly simple. If you read through them, you will understand. Okay. Next week, we will start this 53rd verse. It's a very important verse, and it talks and gives us more details of how this Maya principle works. Understanding Maya, once you have understood Maya clearly, you have understood Brahman also clearly. That is what is Advaitam. And see, these Upanishads, you should let your intellect be completely free from all other notions. Let the knowledge come in straight of the Upanishads. Then you will be able to appreciate the depth of this. Okay. So 53rd verse, we will start next week. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachade Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyade. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. There are a couple of questions in the chat box. I will go through them. Shanmugam is unmuting everybody so that after I finish with the chat box, you can ask questions at the end of the my explanations of the Preeti. I'll come back to you. Let me finish with a couple of things in the chat box. Manikandan is saying, if waking world is like a dream, then the waking world happening is due to the samskara of Brahman. No, it is not the samskara of Brahman. Brahman doesn't have any samskaras. It is the jiva which has got samskaras. Brahman is ever free, pure. One of the descriptions of Brahman is Shuddha. Nitya Shuddha. It is without any Karana Prapancha. Karana Shariram and Karana Prapancha are the aspects of a Jiva. Brahman is ever pure. Why is it pure? Brahman is pure because Brahman knows his nature. How can I also become Brahman? Exactly, if I know my nature as unenclosed consciousness is my nature. Enclosed consciousness is with the body. So your question is, if waking world is like a dream, it is dream for whom? It is dream for the jiva who gets up in the morning and says, I had a good dream or I had a bad dream. It is the jiva which is saying, who is that jiva? Enclosed consciousness. Is it the enclosed consciousness or the unenclosed consciousness? It is the enclosed consciousness. Therefore, it is the jiva. Samskaras belong to the enclosed consciousness or the unenclosed consciousness. It belongs to the enclosed consciousness. Enclosed consciousness is jiva. So while you are in the dream, for a dreamer, dream world is real. Similarly, the way I should understand is, I am a waker. In the waking state, this waking world is real. But there is another state of mind which is called as Brahman. That in that state, it is like the dreamer saying, I have another state called as waker. Dreamer can, suppose the dreamer gets the knowledge that the dream world is not real. There is another waker. For the waker, dream world is not real. Similarly, for the waker, the Shastra comes and tells us, oh Jiva, you are not the Jiva who is experiencing the waking world. You are the Paramatma. You are the free. You are ever free. What is the nature of Paramatma? He knows his nature as pure Brahman. So Brahman doesn't have samskaras. That you should. Yeah, Manikandan, go ahead.
Sekharji, yeah, actually, so my question is, yes, Brahman doesn't, maybe I have to frame it in the right way.
Yeah.
That what is the reason for happening, whatever happening in the world? Is it because in the dream, because of our mind is reprojecting the whatever happening in the waking world is coming as a dream in the dream world. But in the waking world, whatever happening in the world, how it is getting created in this waking world, like whatever we experience in the world, is it due to the Maya? We are
Maya. It is Maya. See,
okay.
The whatever we are experiencing in the world is Maya.
Okay.
Maya means it is an illusion. It is not real. Real in the sense what? It is not independently existing. Unless I am there, I, the consciousness, am there, this waking world is not experienced. In sleep, there is no waking world. Okay. That is how you should understand. But then your question is what is the cause behind my current experiences in the world?
Yes.
See, that is the root question you have. This question of why am I experiencing this world as I am experiencing? See, you're not bothered about what the other fellows in the other parts of the world are experiencing. You are asking the question, why am I experiencing this world? Okay, let us try to examine this. What are you experiencing? There are two types of experiences you have. One experience is are you attending the Wednesday classes?
No, Secretary, I cannot join, but I will.
Okay, I will explain to you what I am dealing in the Wednesday class so that you can understand your question. Your question is actually a very relevant question, but answer is given in the Wednesday class. But I will try to summarize for you. See, what you are experiencing is all my experiences, I can divide it into two portions. One portion is called as Ishvara Srishti. Second portion is called as Jiva Srishti. Okay. What I am creating in my own mind, and I am experiencing my own joys and sorrows, those are all created by my mind.
Okay.
That is Jiva Srishti. For example, your wife has got some problem. That problem she is experiencing in her mind. It is not your sorrow. She is having that sorrow. Your neighbor, your son, your daughter, whatever sorrows they're experiencing in their own circumstances, it is their sorrow because it is Jiva Srishti. It is in their mind. So individual Srishti is created by a Jiva with the help of his samskaras only. That is, see, you have put the word samskara. It's a correct thing, but it does not belong to Brahman. That is belongs to the Jiva.
Okay,
It
clear.
is a Jiva Srishti.
Now it's very clear.
Yeah, and the Ishvara Srishti is common to all. The mountains, the rivers, the Alps, everything is common. Outside, everything is common to everybody. You see, you are seeing the world, I'm seeing the same world, neighbor is seeing the same world. That is all common. That is created by Ishvara. Ishvara Srishti is not the cause of samsara. Samsara is caused by the Jiva. It is the Jiva Srishti which is responsible for samsara and samskar. Is it clear now?
Yes, very much. Thank you, Sagir.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, good. Can we call Ishvara Brahman and Maya as the Sakara Brahman or manifested Brahma? Ishvara is Sakara Brahma. You are right. Brahman with form is manifesting as Ishvara. So what the whole form of Jagat, I just now talk about the Jagat Srishti, Ishvara Srishti. I see the mountains, the Panchabhutas in different forms. The whole world is nothing but Panchabhutas in different forms. That is manifesting and unmanifesting, manifesting in the waking world, unmanifesting in the dream, in the sleep world. So what is the definition of Ishvara? Ishvara is that pure Brahman plus the Shakti when it is in manifestation is called as Ishvara. You are absolutely right, Vibhuti.
And sir, can we also call it a Saguna Brahma?
Saguna Brahma also is correct. You are
Because
right.
Maya Shakti is Triguna Mai.
Absolutely right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Because these are the fundamentals that it should be imbibed in our mind. That's why I asked.
That's all. You see, if you remember the fundamental definitions correctly, then you will understand the Vedanta so easy. You'll say, come on, I understand. It is like an apple in my hand. I see the apple, I know. I also see the world, I know. While seeing the world itself, by seeing my body itself, I know that Brahman.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, Preeti, you had a question?
Yes, Shekharji.
Yeah.
It is more like the thought process that I'm going through. So I understand this concept that you discussed about Mithya and Brahman. Now, going back to the example of rope and snake. So if snake is Mithya, but rope is there, right?
Yeah.
Rope is exactly where snake is Mithya.
Yeah.
So if Brahman alone is, can we more say that the experience or the projection that we feel through this mind is Mithya, not the Jagat? Because that is nothing but the Brahman, isn't it?
Okay. See, the projection of the mind itself is Jagat. Because, I'll tell you why. In the sleep state, do you see that Jagat or not? What do you mean by Jagat? Jagat is basically manifest form of the world. This manifest form of the world is coming to you only when your mind is awake. When your mind is not awake, this Jagat which you are saying as Jagat, 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 and that itself goes to unmanifest form. So you should remember when we say Mithya Jagat, why we call Mithya is because it is not independently existing without me. Without me, the substratum Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi is the substratum. So when you say that Jagat is independently existing, it is wrong. When you say that it is, it is mithya, but it is not connected with me. With me means it is always connected with the mind. Always remember this. Mithya is always connected with the mind. Brahman alone is Satya. You contemplate on this more and more, and you will feel that reality called as Brahman is the truth. Mithya comes into play only when the mind is awake. When the mind is awake, what happens? You are ignorant about the rope, which is Brahman. So what is the world? It is the snake. It is the snake. World is comparable to the snake. Why do I experience the world? Because of the ignorance of the rope. Suppose I knew the rope as rope, will there be a Jagat which is still available to me? Yes. That is the difference between the example and the reality. In the example, the snake goes away as soon as the knowledge comes that only rope is there. Was the snake before? Was the snake in 3 periods of time? No, it was never there. So similarly, this world I'm experiencing, it is like the snake, it is never there. From the higher standpoint of view, it is never there, and that is, see, these things, for these things, it is the Shruti which is the Pramana. It is the Shruti, it is the scriptures which tells me that it is a seemingly existing world. Seemingly existence there, exactly like the rope snake. Rope snake is seemingly there because of my ignorance. See, the ignorance is a very important point we should keep in mind while knowing or analyzing the world. To some extent, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no. So Shekharji, if I don't see the snake, I just see the rope. I don't see the world. I see it all Brahman alone.
Agreed. Yeah, this statement of yours is 100% correct. If I don't see the snake, I am seeing the rope all the time. If while seeing the world, I'm seeing Brahman all the time, that is called as Jnani. You are a Jnani. Are you with me?
Yes. This is exactly where I was stuck, and I wanted to understand that,
now
if each and everything I see with this knowledge, that although it appears as snake, but it is a rope. Rope alone is.
That's correct. Once you that is what is called as Jivan Mukti. That means you are Nitya Muktaha. You're always free from this notion of the world, because you have come to realize the real nature of the world as Brahman. Are you getting?
Thank you very much, Shekharji. Thank you.
Thank you. Good. I'm glad that I know that you have got the point now. Very good. Excellent. Yeah, Shama, tell me.
Om Shekharji.
Yes.
As always, very fascinated. But because I had put some notes, so before I go on to my notes, I'm just tempted to the rope and the snake. The question which Preeti has raised, I'm just tempted. I'm remembering one of the very beautiful Hindi proverb or idiom, whatever we call it. And so those people who understand Hindi may appreciate it. But so allow me to please just say
Yeah,
it.
please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Preeti might understand it.
Yeah.
So what is so beautiful, this whole rope and snake wrangle, that तो उसमें it is said रस्सी जल गई पर बल नहीं गए. You know, that the difficulty is that, you know, our own egos, they so envelop, it so envelopes, you know, because otherwise Maya shouldn't be a problem at all, actually.
Yes,
We
yes.
don't have an ego. So
Correct.
this is what it actually says in the Hindi phrase, Rassi jal gayi, you know, so the person has been completely vanquished.
Yeah.
He has been destroyed. But ego doesn't leave, you know, so it has been burnt, but the rope appears like it's still intact.
Yes.
It appears, although it has been burned. So like Duryodhan, even when his army was vanquished, even everything had happened, his ego was still strong. He was not ready to admit that he was wrong and he was defeated, and right up to the end, you know. So this is so fascinating in this whole study of Jiva, Brahma, Jagat, Ishvara, the whole complex, that what is truly a real issue with all of us is really the ego. And it seems quite evident that the day the ego leaves, and which is really the only thing I feel, at least for myself, I'm constantly watching the ego. Come on, you know, what more tricks have you got up the sleeve? I have discovered you. I know you well. Now tell me what you think.
That's correct.
You know?
Good.
So it's almost challenging the ego. Okay, abhi aur kya bataoge tum? Let me see.
Yeah.
So I actually hear the dialogue from the ego self telling me,
That's
and
right.
then it is the two birds, you know. So there is this one which is just stupidly going around eating the sweet and the bitter fruits.
Yes.
So that is one. The other thing which and it's really what your talks do, that it's such an invitation, really. I feel it's such a sweet invitation, the way you invite us into this whole study of the knowledge of Satyam, the Satyam Jnanam Anantam, the Brahma Vidya.
Yes.
And, you know, it's just so beautiful. So this is what I want to thank you for that. And then one more thought, which I don't know what you think about it. You know, all this, and this is something more recent that has happened to me, and that's why I wanted to share with other aspirants, seekers. That is, how do you like the idea of, you know, looking at yourself through small pieces of broken mirrors? You know, I can see a bit of my nose, I can see a bit, because it is small, too small, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. As opposed to, you have this full size mirror, which is reflecting my complete image.
Yes.
So studying all the other knowledge, you know, which I have always had this battle between wholeheartedly studying Brahma Vidya and Satyam Jnanam Anantam versus all the other competing interests. You know, there's so much to know in the sciences, in the history, in the philosophy, and you know, there's just so many. You know, every day there is so much knowledge that is coming, streaming through our internet, through our media. There is quite a competition, you know, but the reality is, when you're seeing that little bit, it is actually seeing a little image, very small image, which looks like the real thing, but it is not. And it's only when you can retreat inside and you actually look at yourself, self-knowledge, in that big mirror of Brahman, you know, that we can get some glimpse of our own self, a little glimpse. Otherwise, this apara vidya to, there is no chance.
That's correct. Yeah. See, now
कोई chance, हिंदी में बोलेंगे कोई chance ही नहीं है.
Yeah, I'm very happy you're able to use the Mundak terms now in this class so beautifully. Everybody understand exactly what you're saying. Very good.
Chance, no chance. And the reason I'm saying is, I've gone through a huge suffering, a mental suffering, because I have always loved knowing things from all sorts of sources, even up to 2 weeks ago, I wanted to sign up for this philosophy course, this psychology course. Healing is important, trauma is important, global trauma, pata nahi kya kya.
Yeah.
And I said, it is crazy, and it's almost like the little child. And even, we have these laughing galleries where you have all these mirrors and, they show you an image which looks very funny. So you laugh, you have a good laugh. So it's like a laughing memory. Okay, you had fun, you had a good laugh. Now, what do you want to do? Are you still going to be happy continuing the rest of your life? So I actually asked myself that question. That there is no chance. I'm not getting an answer to my questions of life. I repeatedly keep getting caught into the same old Maya. Try this, try that. Like, I have folded my hands. Okay, you're great, so stay separate. So I'm very, very happy for your patience and this thing that you allow that. What I just put the notes, if you just what you've said today is from Jiva Bhava to Brahma Bhava.
Correct.
Is the spiritual journey.
Yes.
What you also said is that what was very beautiful, and like all of us aspirants in our group here, whilst you're giving us a talk, simultaneously, each one of us, we are actually making a little roadmap of our own spiritual journey continuously. It's being edited each time, every Saturday. At least I am doing some editing, saying,
yes,
this is what I must do, Good.
So good.
Which is so beautiful.
There are many people like you, Shama, who are also expressing what you are saying.
Yeah.
And in some talks, if there are no spiritual guidances, they miss something,
Yeah, correct. So I discover, and I'm sure everyone else discovers.
Yeah.
So what then is to point it out, each aspirant works out his own roadmap to reach the same final destination, pointed out to work out our own Vedanta resources. What
Correct,
you've said is we work out our own Vedanta resources. Like what you've said is roughly about 50 verses from each of the Upanishads. Yeah.
No, all total 50, not each Upanishad.
Okay.
I want you to take 2-3 mantras from each Upanishad.
To make it 50, to make it 50.
Yeah, 50, 60, whatever it comes,
Okay, this is a good guidance.
Yeah,
good
that
guidance.
book should be your Bible.
Yeah, this is what I loved it.
Yeah, that you develop each one, you develop yourself.
So you choose what is most significant to you.
Like I've chosen, like I said, in this month, there is the 116, then 122. These are the mantras.
So key about the Jagat, key about the Brahman. Yeah.
Yes. So for Jiva, you have certain verses. For Jagat, you have certain verses. For Ishvara, you have certain verses. For Brahman is these verses which and it is these verses, it must become your contemplation.
Because it connects with you.
It connects with you. Yes. See,
So,
I have understood Ishvara like this.
Yeah.
See, I have understood the Jiva like this. Today, for example, I gave this example that definition of a Jiva is enclosed consciousness. Definition of Brahman is, or Brahman or Paramatma is unenclosed consciousness.
Yeah, small mirror versus big mirror.
Yes, enclosed consciousness is the reflection in the mirror. Unenclosed consciousness is the original face.
Original face.
So unenclosed consciousness is what I experience in my sleep state. Enclosed consciousness is what I experience in the waking state. So understand these two definitions. You will realize it now, here and now.
Correct.
Okay, and this is coming from Taittiriya Upanishad. Why it came to my mind is because I was doing some Taittiriya Upanishad notes. There, this description was given of what is the Jivatma and what is Paramatma. Very simple definition. With reference to consciousness, not with reference to the world. With reference to consciousness, Jivatma is the enclosed consciousness. And it is this enclosed Jivatma which is realizing its own nature as unenclosed consciousness, and that is Brahman.
Most fascinating study.
Yes. That is the essence of all Upanishadic study.
Beautiful, beautiful.
This Jiva, which is in this body mind as the enclosed consciousness, wants to get out of this body mind.
Yeah.
It does not, because it is not its nature. And it is the Upanishad which is coming and telling you that you are not the enclosed consciousness. It is the Taittiriya Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad is teaching us.
Correct.
And it is telling me what? It is telling me you are free. You are Mukta Purusha. That is your Nitya Swarupam.
Correct.
It is Swabhavikam. It is natural.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, which I'm experiencing in the waking state, is not Swabhavikam. It is not natural. It is with the body, with the mind, with the world, with the sense organs. So who wants to be with the body, with the mind, with the senses? So what the Upanishad clearly tells me is you can drop your Jivatva Bhava and go towards Brahma Bhava.
Correct. So just to finish that little note, so develop our own Vedanta resources, which we regularly dip into for Manana and Nididhyasana.
Yeah.
Useful exercise when we face doubt, samshaya, during life's difficult situation, where the mind gets into a dead-end situation, which appears to suddenly stall our spiritual journey. So that is one very sad thing which happens when we go through difficult situation. It just puts a stop. Yeah, that's one sad part.
Yeah.
The other one, which is even worse, it actually causes doubts on spirituality itself. That is this, do I need this? Does all this study help me? Can you see? Because you think, oh, I've got this problem, that problem. What am I doing, wasting my time doing this? Can you see a huge doubt comes?
Yes.
I am better trying to understand the contemporary knowledge on life through the study of science, psychology, philosophy. After all, what and how the rishis, so this is interesting. After all, what and how the rishis of ancient times, thousands of years ago, could know and understand the problems of the contemporary world samsara.
Yeah.
It is so different, so magnified enormously. My world and experience is not limited to my temporal alone, globalized living.
Yeah.
So what did the rishis know about this globalized living? You see, I am experiencing it. I am in it. And what this globalized living is doing is a horrible thing. If you have to think, when was Maya most magnified? It has been magnified now. The Maya, isn't it?
Yes, that is what every generation feels,
Really? I feel no, it must not have ever been like this, because it is immediately so tantalizing of making my desires grow enormously to an infinity level, and ironically makes me so vulnerable in my physical, mental, and emotional, that I don't have that infinite, it makes me, it's so stupid, that on one hand,
see, Jivatva Bhava is very feeble, it is very vulnerable, it is incomplete, it is not. See, this is Jiva Bhava.
Yeah.
And Upanishad is telling you what is Brahma Bhava.
Correct, which is so infinite.
Yeah.
That is the real power, isn't
this
it?
Is the transformation. You see,
yeah.
You have to keep bringing both the bhavas and see what is real.
Yeah. And this Maya has been absolutely amazingly created in the Western world, which obviously has now gone to the eastern part of the world as well, to our great land of India. The invincibility of the individuality, in this since the World War II, the whole Western philosophy has become so materialistic, and it actually tells you, for in each individual, you're promised this great potential and possibility, you know. So it really gives you a very exciting image of what you can reach. We deny interdependence, we deny the Satyam, truth of life. We are caught in the clutches of the vicious dance of Maya until some tragedy happens. And then we realize that we are so vulnerable. By that time, we are already in a mental asylum or something like that, you know. So, but at least thank God for us, you know, we are rescued. So thank you. At the end, I will say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
one more little thought, if you'll allow me to share, which was a wonderful thought, you know, from the Mandukya Upanishads, you know, so you have this Jagrata, Swapna, Sushupti, and the, you know, the fourth pada is the Turyam, which is actually known as fourth, but it is the part, it is participating in all. But what is beautiful is, because your Natak Deepak Prakaranam from the Panchadashi has not gone out at all, it keeps coming back again and again. So I was just thinking of, you know, if I am an actor as a jiva, I'm an actor, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have a role to play, okay,
Correct.
as a jiva. So this jiva is having to come onto the stage, which is my Jagrat state. You know, I have to get up and do some roles. That's the Jagrat state.
Correct.
Then there is the green room, which gives me a bit of a respite, you know, my Swapna state, my green room.
That is a sleep state, not Swapna state. Your green room is sleep state.
Green room is where I'm still in my mentality, you know,
Okay.
because
Yeah. Okay.
I'm dreaming that I am so and so or whatever else, you know.
Okay.
So I'm thinking of what dress shall I wear next or whatever, you know, stupidly. But the sleep is the final one, you know, where actually I come behind the stage.
Correct.
I'm actually behind the stage. I'm in the background where I'm completely wearing no dresses, no nothing, because I actually, and thank God for that, you know, because that is when perhaps I am, you know, in my proper Turiam state. And so it replenishes me. Otherwise, I don't know what I would have got finished by this duality of the world, you know, so far, if I didn't have an access to that.
Yeah.
So
that's why Shastra takes you to the sleep stage and then asks you, who are you?
Correct. Ah, yes.
You see, Shastra takes you to the Anandamaya Kosha and then asks you, who are you?
So the sleep state is the Anandamaya Kosha.
Yes.
No. Okay.
It is the Anandamaya Kosha. It is.
And the Turiam is actually beyond all the three.
Yes, the Turiam is just drop these 5 koshas. In the Anandamaya koshas itself, you have dropped your gross and subtle bodies.
Correct.
You have come to your Karana Sharira.
Are you still not in the Moda Pramoda Priya state?
Priya Pramoda state is a part of Anandamaya, but the other part of Anandamaya is Brahman. Anandamaya has got 2 parts. It has got one part is the Priya Moda Pramoda. The second part is the Brahman stage.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. So it's just so wonderful. I mean, I really have no...
Beyond the Karana Shariram is where your real state is.
Wonderful.
Once you have known that state, then you can say, I am Turiyam. That Turiyam is the substratum for all the 3 states.
But then you wouldn't want to come out of it.
That is your nature. You have already known your nature, you see. You already freed yourself. That I, which was the ego, bothering you so much in this waking state, will not bother you.
And then you can effortlessly walk into your main stage, come out, you know, effortlessly.
You can become enclosed consciousness. Let it come and go.
Because it doesn't bother you.
It doesn't bother you. You see, that snake which was troubling you is no longer. That poison of the snake, the ego, has already been taken out.
Correct.
So now you can wear, it is like an alankara for you. The snake is an alankara if the poison is not there. For Lord Shiva, it is an alankara. He can have the snake in his neck and then he can show.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you, Shekharji. I just love your talks. Yeah, wonderful.
Akshay is saying that current experience of life is due to prarabdha. Absolutely right. Each prarabdha gives fruits of actions of our current actions also. Or do all prarabdha already defined from past actions of punya papam? Okay. See, let me explain to you. Whenever you talk about the law of karma, there are three aspects to it. One aspect is prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma means what I am experiencing in this life. See, all our experiences in this life from birth to death, there is one portion which is destiny. All of us have it. That is what is called as prarabdha. Till your prarabdha karma, that means, you see, what this law says is, it tells you that throughout the life, you cannot avoid doing action. You have to do action. You're forced to do actions, whether for your family, for your company, for your society. These are all the effects of prarabdha karma. Now, your question is our current experience based on prarabdha? Yes, you are right. It is based on our fruits of past actions. This is one part. The second part of it is it based on current action? Is it past action or current action? Past action is one. Current action means, for example, you have studied BCom or you have studied IT. Now that is an action done in this birth. You will definitely get a result of that study in this birth. But there is a portion of your karma of this birth which will not give you result in this birth. Suppose you have done a great yaga, or you have helped somebody in your life, sacrificed your own desires, and you have helped. That result of that punyam may not come in this birth. So in your question, the fruits of current action can also come in this current birth. But if it comes in the current birth, it becomes it gets added to the prarabdha and then you exhaust it. There are certain fruits which will not, of your current action, which will not be given to you, the phalam you will not get now, but you will get in the next birth or in the following births. That is called as agami. So agami gets added to what? To the sanchita. Sanchita is the whole basket of all your punya papam, which is there in your account. Out of the sanchita, say suppose the deposit of sanchita is 1,000, say 1 lakh rupees. Out of 1 lakh, 10,000 has that deposit has matured. That is your prarabdha. Still 90,000 is still there. When you are spending that 10,000, you have earned another 2,000. So 90 plus 2,000 gets added, and that becomes your new sanchita. So punya papam is a continuous exercise which is happening, and this is the end result of all your thoughts. All your thoughts, they end in either punyam papam fructification. You will notice it. You see, suppose, like I said, that you have certain parts of your life, if you just go back and see, you can say that it is probably because of my punyam. All of us, sometimes you get saved in an accident, punyam. It is my punyam. I don't know why, but I am alive. Similarly, some things affected you. and you went down in life. It is, I didn't want it, but I went down. But I shouldn't be bothered too much about it. This punya babam and all this karma will still go on in life. It is the journey of a jiva. Don't take it too seriously. The moment you have come to Vedanta, you should say, this journey, I am not going to fight. Let it happen in its way. All seekers, the first lesson you should learn is life is a journey of the ego. It's a play of the ego. It's a play of Maya. I am not going to, I have understood Maya, I have understood Prarabdha Karma. Prarabdha Karma is Maya. It will go on. But it is not independent. It is dependent on me. And me, that me is what? Right now, that me is enclosed in the body. Consciousness enclosed is the jiva. That me is the one which is trying to ask this question, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And it is pushing me to Vedanta for an answer. It wants a clean, definite answer. Till the answer is given to that ego, it will continue the search through the Vedic scriptures, Mundaka Upanishad, Keno Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad. All it will search. It will keep on the search. Each one of us. It is this ego which will not allow till it realizes its nature as pure self without the body, and it is convinced. You see, the intellect must be convinced. Aham Brahma Asmi. Remember this one line. Each one of you have to say this to your own intellect. Not to others, not to your parents, your father, mother, sister, husband, son, daughter, nothing. Your own intellect has to tell your own self, Aham Brahma Asmi. Nirvana Shatkam, always remember, has got two portions. One portion, I am not this. Another portion is, I am this. So, get the knowledge of both. To say I am not this, and also practice saying I am this. Okay, so Akshay, is it clear?
Yes. So what ultimately we can say is we have to contemplate on the ultimate. Along with that, we have to take care consciously, reduce our karmas and papams. And,
That's correct. Yes, as much as you can.
consciously. That's the very important.
Consciously, every day you tell yourself, it is a totally new, fresh day I have got. I am not bothered what happened yesterday. I am not bothered about what happened to me 2 years, 1 year, 6 months. I am not bothered. I am alive today. Today, I will start my day as a fresh day and I will work. That's it. Keep working in this fashion. At the same time, build up your inner resources of Atma Jnana. Keep building that inner resource. It will save you from a lot of troubles and a lot of difficulties and sorrow in life. That is your inner push for knowing the reality. Don't leave till you are satisfied. And let the life go on. Let the life go on as per what you feel. You cannot stop it. See, it is something which is, the cycle has already started. The arrow has been shot. It has to reach the destination. You cannot stop it in between. Good. Okay, Akshay.
So, go with the flow.
Go with the flow. And then you will understand that, okay, theek hai, chalta hai. So it happened. So let me take on. See, when you go with this attitude, you will really know how to face the life. Another problem comes tomorrow. Ha, theek hai, chalta hai. Let's go. It is okay. Let it come. I'll face it. It's okay. There is no other go. I'm happy. Good.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Yeah, Jacqueline, I'll come back to you. Vijay is waiting for a long time. Vijay, can you go ahead?
Hari Om, Jai Shri Krishna. Very, very amazing session and quite a bit of a deep dialogue. I have realized one thing from the sessions is, even for me to ask a question, it's a play of ego. If I'm able to subdue my urge of putting my thoughts, most often I actually get all the answers from the discussions and the answers that you give. That's a first discovery, I think trying to calm myself out, trying to curb the urge itself is a great sadhana to be in Sakshi mode. Okay, so having said that, I love this example of enclosed, unenclosed. Actually, I was trying to relate this to, the Jivatma from the enclosed concept. He has to first raise it to Sarvatma Bhava, make it all pervading.
Yes.
Then alone can it culminate into Brahma Bhava, where he experiences that oneness.
Yes.
Right. So
yes,
and
that's correct.
Yeah. So after that, I think I was just and also I've realized one thing is the power of Shravana. If I'm able to open my mind and hear every aspect, many of that their granthis, as you rightly say, actually breaks. One aspect which was very bothering me was when we were explaining about Sat aspect. I mean, the Sat Padartha, Chit Padartha, Ananda Padartha.
Yeah.
You said that the Sat Padartha, which is the truth, the easiness that can be experienced in both existence, in the sense it is in Jiva Srishti or the Maya Srishti, which is in Ishvara. There is always Sat. But when you said that it's only in the Jiva that the Chit comes.
Yes.
But I am not sure whether I've understood it rightly, because I somehow feel the Chit is the consciousness, right? So which is enliving. So the enliving component is in the Jiva or any entire Chara Achara Srishti, basically. They do shine, they do exist, they do breathe, the plants grow, the animals do all those 6 modifications happen because of the Chit only. But the only greatness of the human being is he alone can experience that Ananda. Not the first aspect of Ananda, Priya, Moda, Pramoda, even animals do experience, but it's only the Jiva who is able to transcend this Jivatma to Sarvatma to Brahma Bhava.
Correct.
He can experience the other aspect of the Ananda, which is Turiyam, where you say that Triputi absolves. Unfortunately, he can't explain his experience. So I was just little, I don't know, it could be a doubt that why are we
Sat
Bhava,
Bhava, Sat Bhava, when I mention, is in the non-living creatures. In the insentient matter principle, the Sat Bhava is experienced. It is like all the inert principles in the world. How do I see it? As the Sat Brahman. That is possible for a human mind to understand as Sat, inert principles. But when it comes to the Jiva, it becomes easier for a being, a conscious being, to experience the Chit aspect much more than the Sat aspect. Correct. Because you see, when you are a Jiva, the reflected consciousness is the awareness principle. That awareness principle becomes predominant in a Jiva, whereas it is not predominant in a wall or a stone. This awareness principle, self-awareness, is not evident because of the absence of the mind.
Yeah, hence they say it is achetana avastha.
Correct. It is achetana. Chetana and achetana together is Brahman.
Brahman, yes. Okay.
So now you're clear.
Yeah, I was just having that doubt as to why are you restricting the Chit to Jiva. Yeah,
so now you're clear, right?
Yes, thank you.
Good. Thank you. Yeah, Jacqueline, go ahead. Bharat, I'll come back to you.
Yes, Mr. Cheka, 2 questions. One question just to, as a human mind, just want to verify. Maya is equal to illusion, is equal to appearance, and is it equal to experience?
Yes, it is equal to experience. It is equal to the mind. Most important is the mind.
Yeah, so appearance also, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So now,
Yeah.
Now I understand what is Maya, because in the past I was asking about it. Okay, appreciate. Question number 2, space. Okay. Now I'm standing at home. The whole place is a space. Space is the silent and is equal to is silent equal to Brahman. So how do you explain that?
No. See, space is one of the 5 elements. You see, it is not silence. It is space. Is space. Space is silence has got not. It is comparable to silence, but it is not silence. Space, air, water, fire, earth. These are of 5 elements, Pancha Bhutas. These are first created in the world. So this is what is space. It is the first created thing. For example, from Atma, from the self, in my sleep state, from the Brahman state, what came first? First came space. In space, everything was built. In space, you have air. In space, you have fire. In space, you have water. In space, you have earth. So space is one of the inert, invisible element, matter principle. Now, let us understand silence. Silence is connected with sound. Opposite of sound is silence. Opposite of light is darkness. When there is sound, for example, in meditation, I keep saying the sound Om is a thought in the mind. Okay. And what is silence? It is, you can look at silence in 2 ways. One is it is a positive thing. And the second is it is a negative thing. When you look at silence as a negative, you'll say it is not sound. It is not sound. Om, you chant and then you stop. Then what happens? You experience silence. That silence is also experienced by the same mind. Sound is also experienced, silence is also experienced by the same mind. But who is experiencing that silence? Who is experiencing that mind? It is the consciousness principle. There is something beyond silence and sound, and that is Turiyam. That is the ultimate, my Atma.
But then,
Yeah, Jacqueline.
but then the Om and the gap between the Om is a space.
It is a space of, there is a space, it is a space for you to realize that space is your consciousness. When you are looking at that space, yes, not the space outside which you are saying is the space in which all the world is existing. Yes. When you are saying that the space is that space between the 2 sounds, that means consciousness. You are right. That space, if you are able to experience it and just remain in that, that is your nature, that is your self. It is the nearest form of reaching yourself. It is the closest form of realizing your nature.
Oh yeah, okay, appreciate it. Just a little bit more. So if the words, right? When I am talking to you, I am, there's a space there. Talking, there's a space there. Does it mean the Om also? The space between the words, what I'm saying.
No. If you are able to notice the space, then it is the same. It is the same consciousness. You are with your consciousness. If you are noticing the space, normally we don't notice this space at all. I'm
Yeah.
talking, I'm running, I'm eating. You know, you
Yeah.
just are so fast.
Yeah.
So, but
Okay.
you're able to notice, I am eating. So suppose you say, and slowly you try to understand, I am is there. It is consciousness. It is existence. Eating is an incidental thing. Running is an incidental thing. Shopping is an incident. I am is always there. So hold on to that I am. I am, I am, I am. Throughout the day, I am. But the other things are changing. You know, I may be eating, I may be talking, I may be singing, I may be so doing so many things, but those are all related to the organs of action or organs of knowledge.
Okay. Appreciate.
Good.
Cool.
Okay, Bharat, go ahead.
Hari Om Shekharji.
Yeah. Sorry to keep you waiting.
No, absolutely no problem whatsoever. It's completely fine. Let me see if this will work. Hello. Hi. I've managed to obtain a video camera, so hopefully
Okay,
you
good.
can
Very
see
good.
me now.
Yeah.
Yeah, very pleased to meet everyone. First of all, apologies. I am due to work. I am unable to join the Wednesday classes.
Yeah. No
But
problem.
but I'm systematically going through the Panchadashi.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that I finished off Bhagavad Gita yesterday,
Yeah.
and I just had two small observations to make. I couldn't go on and on, but I just want to focus on these two. So in chapter 18, there's three amazing verses that really caught my attention, verse 61 to 63. So 61, chapter 18, verse 61 says about cosmic will, and it's the Lord's will. So the Lord is controlling the universe, and the universe and all matter, subtle matter. So the Lord's will, Ishvara's will, controls our minds and bodies and everything.
Correct.
Then verse 62 says that with Ishvara's grace, through our karma or whatever, we manage to gain access to jnana, and I guess we surrender Jiva Bhava for Brahma Bhava. We gain that realization. We understand who we are. We understand what we are.
Correct.
And then in verse 63, you know, Lord Krishna, he teaches that this is the greatest secret, that we're not Jiva. Now, at the end, Lord Krishna says, do as you like. And I just wanted to, I was just wondering why he said that. And straight as a flash, maybe I just wanted to get your opinion on this. But the previous notions of free will that we may have had before jnana, after studying, what we realize is that the personal free will is in fact the cosmic will, and what we have as our individual swadharma, our personal duty, is in fact universal cosmic duty.
Correct.
And there is nothing in that sense. It's like we've re-identified. So all that's left is do what's in front of your nose. So I just do your duty. So kind of relax, enjoy,
Yes.
do what you have to do.
Correct.
Thank you. The last point I wanted to make was Maya, which you mentioned is the which is experience of the universe, of mind, perception. But can we say Maya is also ignorance of ignorance? That once that ignorance is pointed out, then just like how you said you know, to know the noise, you have to be silence.
Correct.
So then once Maya is pointed out, to know Maya, automatically, the substratum is consciousness.
Yes, you are right. See, that is why they say that this Maya, there are two aspects to it. One is you can have the ignorance of the world, which is called as Tula Vidya, which is the outer world. That is not, that is one aspect which is Maya. You see, so therefore you keep on working. I don't know investment, I don't know building, I don't know how the computer works. So I keep on learning. That is one type of Maya. The second,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was just going to say that I feel that part is actually about a denial of causality.
yeah,
Whereas this one is more like the rope snake
that's correct. See,
example.
this one is the Mula Vidya, which is
Mula Advaita.
yeah, it's called Mula Vidya. It is self-ignorance. That I don't know myself is the first thing. If I know that I have that ignorance, then that itself is consciousness. Ignorance, you're talking about double ignorance.
Exactly. Yes.
You're talking about two ignorances, and
yes.
then you are aware of the substratum.
Precisely.
You're right.
Thank you. That was it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, I think that's all for today. We'll catch up next week. Thank you and good night.